When you look at the penetration of the infrastructure that provides for us to consume digital media, the internet is a key ingredient here. The internet availability in Africa has been there over the years, and we've done very well to keep up with the West. In fact, Africa, including even Kenya, is one of the top areas in the world where the infrastructure has been developed. But you find that the uptake of the infrastructure in terms of consumption of the internet is still quite low, because people may not access the gadgets, may not be able to afford because of the standards of living measures, unlike in the West, where you find that the economy kind of favors almost everyone to be able to be in a position where they can consume from the infrastructure. So Kenya is really well developed in terms of our infrastructure, where we have fiber networks, we have telecommunication networks that have put and spread their infrastructure all over the country. But there's no use of having access to fiber or a cable or a network that is available to you, but you cannot afford it because the packaged prices by most of the marketers and the distributors of these networks are still high. So when you look at fiber networks, which has introduced 4G, and now we are moving into 5G very soon through even our telecom networks like Safaricom and Airtel, you find that it is still expensive to consume data. So the challenge of the industry is not really an industry one, but is also an economic challenge where we need to improve the disposable income of the consumers out there. That's one challenge. The other second challenge that we see is culture. There's still a huge part of our population that is reliant on traditional media and traditional ways of being able to reach one another, and most of us still rely on radio. Radio is such a key media, especially in Kenya. It is actually the leading media nationally, unlike in Nairobi, where you have social media as a key medium that people consume. Nationally, radio still stands as the best form of communication. And you find that that also has slowed down decision making for most of the corporates who have set aside budgets, have set aside resources to use through the digital media space to communicate to their customers. It is almost impossible to foretell the future of digital, at least for me. In this part of the world, especially in the third world countries, you find that we are still catching up in terms of digital integration. So when you talk of digital integration, it's where the government fully supports the integration of digital systems within their services, where the government now is trying to consolidate their records, their systems in such a way that we use the digital space to be able to reciprocate our services to the common mwananchi. In the West and some countries, they fully integrated digitally, where you find that right from even their travel documents, I think Kenya now is going into that space, their travel documents, their identifications are even being injected in their skin. Basically what this means is that some of these countries are already ahead. The digital future for Africa is that we are still catching up in some certain areas, but it's completely impossible for us to know where we are heading into the digital space. I think it's only time that can be able to tell, and then we react towards the happenings as they come. I think digital is a mindset that we all have to be able to harness and be able to welcome. The infrastructure is there, the systems are there. Most of us just need to change our mindset and to fully accept that in everything that we are doing, digital integration is a must. For example, when a child is born, the records are going to be, I think the whole thing of Huduma number is to integrate our identities into a digital record. So you find that when a child is born, the registration of that child is in digital. When they grow up, even in the education system right now, Kenya is also trying to include digital learning in our education or in our curriculum. And even as we proceed to consume services within our, from the government all the way to the private sector, the digital space is really important. And we cannot do it without it, because that is where the world is going or has already gone. So for you as a person who's wanting to venture into the digital marketing space as a business, you definitely need to already integrate that as an individual. You need to understand that fully as an individual. When you look at different age groups, you can find someone who is in their 70s who has fully digital, who has integrated their life digitally. Then you'll find the same caliber of person, same age group, who has nothing or doesn't consume anything digitally. So it's all to do with a mindset. And that is what we need to do. We need to change our mindsets to welcome and to marry into and accept that a digital life is a life that you cannot do without. Definitely, when you look at as an entrepreneur, you're always challenging yourself to become better, to offer different services, to offer value to your clients. And what will keep me awake at night is always wondering whether we are offering value to our clients. Whether there's a creative idea that I can be able to wake up and the next morning and propose to a client. Whether there's someone out there, a client who we've never met, but somehow they can be able to benefit from our services. So every day just looking out for opportunities, trying to fill in tenders, to participate in competitions where we can be able to provide our services to customers. That is something that always keeps me awake and drives me on a daily basis. Failure is inevitable, just like when you wake up at night and when you sleep. It's something that we are all bound to face. And so for myself, what I've chosen to do is to look at failure as an opportunity to create another opportunity. Failure comes in so many forms. There are times when you, for instance, when you want to pitch for a business and some other company gets it and not you, some people can term that as failure. Or when your skills are challenged. Maybe your skills in terms of the creative space, it doesn't come out very well, and you find that maybe the customers or the client was not happy with a particular job that you've done for them. To me, that is not failure, but an opportunity for you to go back and improve on yourself. For someone else, they look at that as failure. So I think the word failure exists there in vocabulary, but it should not exist in the way you disseminate your services, because it should be looked at as an opportunity to always improve yourself and make yourself better. And again, failure is also a perception. It's a feeling, and anyone can hold that feeling towards you. So if you hold that feeling towards yourself, then you're inviting discouragement or resentment or other things that are not healthy for you in life. In terms of work, the way we define work and the way I see work, work is something that you love doing on a daily basis. Work is not slavery. It's something that you enjoy doing, and you work because you have a drive inside you to continue channeling out the skill set that you have. We are always learning in life. We are always improving ourselves in life. And we are always experiencing different things in our life that injects learning, injects new work at that particular moment. So the way I approach work to me is something that I love doing, that I wake up and I say that I'm going to accomplish a particular objective for this season or for the day. You can work in, I think work is defined as something that you can do in various aspects of your life. So as a family man, I could be working towards making sure that my children become adults who would benefit the society when they're grown. I could work towards improving my marriage. I could work towards getting finances through the services that we offer. And I could also work without expecting remuneration for the community, where I'll probably give a talk to younger people, mentor young people. So to me, work, the definition of work needs to be understood in such a way that it's not the only thing that you do to earn income, but it's something that you do to improve the society and community that you serve around you. Success to me is something that people get misconstrued or get confused on the meaning of success. To me, a successful person is someone who gets fulfillment and total satisfaction from what they do in life. From a business perspective, success would mean whereby you think of an idea, you think of a service or a product that you'd like to offer the world, and the world receives it, and they are able to come back to you for more because it's a need that you're fulfilling. So for me, success is where I find that in our customers' eyes, where we fulfill the needs that they have and execute the services that we have in such a brilliant way that for them the company grows. To me, that is success. Success is not only inward, but it's also outward. It's what people see, but it's also mostly what you feel about yourself. So you could be a company that is a Fortune 500, and to many people that is success, but that Fortune 500 company tomorrow can fall, and we've seen many that have fallen. So success to me is the process in which you approach life with its dynamism, with its changes, with its unexpectations, but you're able to live over the unexpectations of life. To me, that's what success is. How I relax, I love sporting activities. I love going for swimming. I love cycling. I cycle with a couple of my friends who happen to be other entrepreneurs once in a while. I also love going home and in the comfort of my home with my children and my wife, relax and talk and even play board games. It's important. And also I read a lot. I love reading, and I also love discovering new places. When I discover a new place, you see new people, you meet new experiences, and you learn, and at the same time you're also relaxed as a person. And I would love to venture into writing. I would love to be someone who can be able to write books and share some information, whether fiction or factual. I would love to be a writer. I would also love to exercise other skills like music, which has been part of me, but maybe to take it now to a different level where I can also sing and I can also entertain people. Yes. My working preferences, I prefer MacBook, I prefer Apple. I believe these are gadgets that were invented and were made by one of the most brilliant men in the world, and I happen to resonate with the machines, and I enjoy working with a Mac. I prefer coffee to tea. I take tea mostly at home, but when I'm working, I love coffee because I feel like it gives me a kick, an edge. Most of the job that we do requires us to go out to our clients, so mostly standing and walking during work. My go-to mobile app is always on Facebook, but most of the time it's WhatsApp. Go anywhere to the world to work, that will be in Mombasa. Mombasa. Yes, we need to celebrate our own towns. We have the most beautiful beaches and weather in the world. Why go anywhere else when the best is here in our country? Working with a company of purpose, a startup.